Hi guys, so this is a short video on how to do CFD analysis in ANSYS software. So step number one is you open ANSYS, you scroll down here and you see the fluid flow fluid. So when you double click on it, this is what the user interface shows to you. So you can import your geometry or you can create a geometry in the design modeler. So my geometry is a CVT casing which has two sheaves, one primary and one secondary inside it. So if I hide this body, you are able to see the two CVT sheaves inside the case. So for example, let us say you import either from SolidWorks or some another CAD software. What is the first thing that you need to do? First thing is that you need to subtract this domain with the solid source domain, that is your CVT primary and CVT secondary. So how you do it? First of all, when you import it, make sure that you import it as a material and not as frozen. Second thing, go to create and boolean. So when you perform a boolean operation, click on subtract instead of add. Target body. So the target body is the main body that you need to subtract the mass from. So for our case, we will choose this CVT case. And for the tool body, we have to choose the two sheet, that is the primary and the secondary. Also make sure that you preserve tool body. So when you click on generate, you are left with one part and three bodies. This is very important. So for example, let me say that you are not able to view that cavity inside it. So let us hide the primary and secondary. Let us get a cut plane, and here you can observe that there is a cavity inside it. So for example, I can select this space, and if I try to visualize, so if I show this, so this gets highlighted in a different color, which means that there are separate bodies, that is there is a contact surface between the two bodies. So this is the main important thing that you need to keep in mind while performing a CFD analysis, that is you need to separate the solid and the fluid domain. After that's done, what's next? So now since you have separated it, it is better to rename it. So so it is easily identifiable in the setup when we perform the CFD. So either you name it primary or secondary. So if I just hide this body, you are able to see. So this is my source 1 of heat, this is my source 2, and this is the fluid body. So how do you rename it? You right click on it and there is an option for rename, or you can press F2. So for my example, I have named it heat 1 and heat 2, and this is the fluid domain. So after this is done, you can exit design modeler. Now the next step is to open mesh. So the user interface that you will be guided to through ANSYS looks somewhat like this. Here we need to mesh our components since it is a FEA analysis. So you can prefer mesh. So there is no compulsion as to which mesh should you go for CFD analysis. For my preference, I have kept it standard mesh with a relevance of 100. So this gives a fairly good enough mesh for performing the analysis. But if you want accurate results, then you can go for a higher quality mesh. Now the second important thing to notice is that I have this name selection. So this is important to assign the boundary condition when you are doing fluent analysis. So what you do is you select the plane face and you click on this, you right click on it, and there is an option for rename. Or what you can do is you just press on it and you press N. So it will guide you to this dialog box. You can type here inlet. Similarly for outlet, and you can press on generate. So these are the only two things that you need to keep in mind when you enter the meshing interface of Fluent. So after this is done, you can exit the meshing, and the step number 3 and the most important step is the setup. So ANSYS Fluent basically it uses the various equations that are there in computational fluid dynamics. For example, the Navier-Stokes equation. So there are various models. So you can either go for a turbulent analysis or you can go for laminar. So it is basically your preference. If you want a more realistic approach, then you can go for turbulent analysis, but you make sure that you have a proper function system that can handle such intensive analysis. So we'll wait for the analysis to read our component. So these are some statistics. Just building mesh. So what this will do is it will detect all contacts that you have. That is, you created a boolean, so that will create a contact between the fluid domain and the solid domain. So right now it is still not assigned the fluid domain. So everything the software consider is as one material. So as soon as your model is visible in your screen, the first thing that you need to do is to check the mesh. So checking the mesh, and the important criteria that you see is the volume. So if there is a minimum volume of a negative quantity, then you need to go back to the meshing and you need to improve your mesh so that this becomes positive. So since it is so the mesh is okay, you go to models and you turn on the energy equation. So energy equation helps us to perform analysis related to heat, or you can also say it energy. After that is done, there are various models for analysis. You can go for either a laminar if you have a medium system that is on which you are performing the analysis, or you can go from K epsilon or K omega. So it is your preference. Also okay. So after that is done, this is the material tab. So what is your heat source? So is it aluminium, is it iron, is it some other metal? So you need to assign that material here first before assigning it to your component. So there is a create or edit where you can find various materials to assign. Also, are you performing a cooling analysis with a fluid domain of water? Then you need to assign water as a fluid material inside it. The next step is cell zone condition. So as I said, that it is easier to recognize what you had named before. So now I can easily say that heat 1 is my primary, heat 2 is my secondary, that is the secondary heat sources, and this is fluid. So ANSYS is pretty intelligent. If you type a fluid here, it will automatically assign a fluid medium. So that is a +1. Also, after the fluid is in, whatever remains is automatically assigned as a solid. So in the cell zone conditions, you double click on it and you take on the source term, which will activate this tab. So you edit and you say a one source. So when you do it, so this is the value, this is not the realistic value, let me repeat. So you can find the value on your own, or you can do a trial and error basis. So after this is done, you perform the same task for heat source 2. Go to boundary conditions, inlet, and by default it is a velocity inlet. So either you can assign a velocity of 2 or 3 or 4 based upon your preference. So in thermal, you can type in the inlet air temperature, that is at 25 degrees Celsius, or so you can say 30 kelvins, that is ambient temperature. Outlet, so in outlet you have two options. Either you assign it as a pressure outlet, or you can assign it as a outflow. So outflow is basically a conservation of mass principle. So whatever goes in will definitely come out. And in the pressure outlet, you are assigning an outlet pressure. So if it is a 0 gauge pressure, that means the pressure difference between inlet and outlet is 0. Also, if by chance there is a possibility of backflow, so you can also assign a backflow total temperature, that is of 300 Kelvin. After all this is done, you can go to initialization. What initialization will do, it will calculate first 10 values for solving the differential equations of fluid mechanics. After you are done initializing, you can go to run calculations. You can assign the number of iterations that you want to perform, and you can calculate. So this will give you. So after the calculation is done, you can exit the you can exit this tab, and under the solution, no. So you need to go in results. Just we'll wait for some time. It is showing that it is starting CFD post. As I said, this is a very intensive type of analysis. So if you are going for a more realistic approach, that is you are going for a turbulent analysis, so you need to have a better system to perform such intensive analysis. So now this is not the default that you will be guided to. So let me switch off the streamlines. Yes. So this is your system. So in order to visualize the velocity, that is the flow of air inside the basin, what you do is you come up here and there is an option for streamline. So you click OK. You want to assign it where to start from. So we want to start from inlet, and for better visualization, let us select the number of points to be say around 75, and the variable is velocity. Click on apply. So as you can see, this gives a pretty appealing. It is very appealing to the eye. So, and you can also compare it with realistic. That is, if you try to, for example, what they do in aerodynamics, the analysis of F1 cars. So that is they have a smoke. So and it helps in visualization the airflow around the various objects, like uh, the various parts of the F1 car, that is the wing or the spoiler and all that. So okay. So if you want an animation, you can click this tab, and you can select what objects that you want to animate. So for us, I'll keep this look, and you can click on click. Yes. So this is going to give us the look, so we can visualize what the flow of air inside it would be. This is a pretty good video for analyzing the flow. Also, if you want to export an animation, you can have this quick animation, and you can go to save movie. It will guide you through the steps that are in. Also, for example, if you want to view a contour of the temperature distribution, so what you can do is you can go to location, you can create a plane. So I have a plane created here. So if you see here, this is a plane on which I want to view my temperature distribution. So you create that plane, you go on contours, you click OK, and in location you select the plane that you just created. So you select the plane, you specify the variable that you want to view. For my example, I will take temperature, I will select plane 1, and for number of contours, if I want a better contour plot, I will select more number points. For example, for my application, I will select 80, and when I click on apply, It will take some time, and it is going to show me the temperature contour of the plane that I created. So you can see that this is a pretty nice contour. So you can see that cold air is coming here. It is getting heated up by the two heat sources, and after the air is heated, it leaves the outlet. So you can also find the outlet mean temperature by selecting the outlet, clicking on probe, and you can view the outlet temperature.